into the next portion of the chapter. And the dogs actually won't follow you out of the maze here, so you can just... Actually, no, I'm a big old liar. Don't kill me, Mr. Dog, for being a liar. I thought they couldn't follow you, but it turns out they can. Hey everyone, it's Joe. Welcome back to Resident Evil 4. So last time we ended up fighting a couple of bosses and died a couple of times. Now we have finally escaped the village once and for all. So now with the castle, we have new types of enemies, new types of weapons that we'll be using, and just a whole lot more good stuff. So let's start off today's episode by visiting the merchant and trading in some of our old weapons for new ones. So first and foremost, let's start by selling our old weapons. So we are going to be selling our Punisher, our shotgun, and our rifle. They've served their purpose, and now it's time to move on to bigger and better guns. We're going to buy the larger attaché case, the blacktail, the riot gun, and the semi-auto rifle. And as far as upgrades go, we're just going to upgrade firepower, firing speed, and reload speed. We're going to hold off on getting the capacity upgrades just for, that free top up on our capacity. All in all, we've upgraded the firepower for the TMP, the firepower for the riot gun, the firepower and the reload speed of the semi-auto rifle, and then the firepower, firing speed, and reload speed of the blacktail. And after some organization of our inventory, this is what things are going to be looking like. And here on the castle grounds, we're going to be introduced to the new enemies, the Zealot Monks. They're about as challenging as normal Ganados, but they have a different type of Plagas that we'll be introduced to in a bit. I'm going to have Ashley wait back here and try out our new shotgun. About as powerful as the old one. So now our job is to take out these catapults without taking any damage. This is mainly why I left Ashley by herself. They're easy enough to take care of, you just gotta shoot the red barrels. So we're slowly gonna have to have Ashley move up and hide in different spots, just so things don't get away from us. I'm going to have her hang out here with the cannon now, so I can take out the next set of catapults without having to worry about her taking damage. And with new enemies comes new animations, so we get the suplex animation. I'm gonna have Ashley come up and hide in this shack here now, because enemies will spawn in and take her if you leave her by herself for too long. Ashley's here, so we'll make her wait in the shack. She's relatively safe in the shack. Also, don't forget this bangle here on the left-hand side of the shack. We just have one more catapult to deal with, but this one does not have a red barrel. So we're going to have to shoot him the old-fashioned way. So now we don't have to worry about catapults, and we can keep Ashley with us, and now it's just a matter of turning this crank to bring up the cannon to shoot the big old door. And don't worry about those enemies, they will despawn as soon as I fire the cannon. Easy as that. And in case you missed out on the merchant the first time around, he's also up here after you finish up the castle grounds. And at this point you can get another firepower upgrade for the riot gun, so it's worth picking up. It'll come in handy in a little bit. And this is going to be the last time we see the merchant for a while, so it's worth picking up that upgrade. So in this section, we will be introduced to the new Plagas, but first we're going to start by picking up these swords and swapping positions to reveal the hidden door. So that red Ganado down there will be more than likely our first look into the new Plagas if one of these Ganados don't do it. And they actually have, so As you can see, the Plagas looks a little bit different than what we saw with the villagers, and that's because it is different. It is a Plagas that can decapitate you in one hit. So you have to be mindful of where you are, where the enemies are. They're not too difficult to handle. So now the game is starting to throw more and more enemies at us, but we can handle it because we've got the firepower to deal with it. Now at this point, I believe the enemies will stop spawning in, but we still have to deal with that red Ganado down at the bottom. First, let's swap this gold sword for the platinum sword. Then let's equip and reload our shotgun. So this guy is guaranteed to spawn in the new Plagas. So no matter where you hit him, once his health is lowered down to 0, it'll spawn up the Plagas out of his head. Not too difficult to deal with. Now let's drop this gold sword and open up the hidden door. And we are good to go to head off to the next location. Now for this next bit, I'm going to leave Ashley here. The enemies don't typically go through this door, so it's safe to leave her. There is more enemies here than I anticipated. So kind of just to go over again why I'm using the Blacktail over the Red 9. I prefer the faster rate of fire of the Blacktail than just the flat damage of the Red 9. Ganados with shields are that easy to handle. You just get them to come in close enough and then you shoot with the shotgun and it should destroy the shield in one shot. So, and they're relatively easy to funnel as well. So now we're gonna have some more enemies spawning in after we take this key that's in this chest right up here, but we can kind of turn our camera to get us ready to fire on that red barrel and just handle them with one bullet really efficiently. So let's open this up, take the key, and fire. And that takes care of all of them. So now we are ready to enter the castle proper. And we will meet the next minor antagonist in the game. So in the village we had Torres Mendez, and in this one we have Ramon Salazar.
I was starting to wonder when you might notice us.
Who are you?
Me llamo Ramon Salazar, the 8th Castellan of this magnificent architecture. I have been honored with the prodigious power from the great Lord Sadler. I've been expecting you, my brethrens.
No thanks, bro.
My, we've got a feisty one. If you care for your own well-being, I suggest you surrender yourself and simply become our hostage. Or Mr. Scott, you can give us the girl because you're not worth a penny, I'm afraid. You can die.
I'm never turning into one of them. Never.
Got that right. We'll find a cure.
So, in this section, we're going to be dealing with a kind of like a sub-boss or a mini-boss, the Garrador. So it's best to just leave Ashley here. The Garrador is very easy to handle if you know kind of how his mechanics work, because his vision is incredibly limited. He can see you when you get very close, but otherwise he's functionally blind, but he's got very good hearing. When you fire your gun, he'll go to the last known location, and he also will be able to hear you when you run, so you have to walk. I have the prison key. We're gonna go ahead and take on the Garrador. I'm gonna be using the rifle for this bit. We're just gonna pick up these items early, and we are ready to get started. So he won't do anything until you approach close enough for him to become aware of you. But our goal is to flip that lever and turn off the flames in that hallway. And fighting him is totally optional. You can just sneak around him and flip the lever, but it's probably best for you to take him out. So, as you can see, as long as you walk, he won't really have any idea of where you are. And that Plagas on his back is his weak point that you have to shoot. So now you have to move after shooting, because he'll go to your last known location. Sometimes he walks if he's not exactly sure, or if he definitely knows where you are, he'll run towards you. Sometimes he will charge a wall. But easy, we didn't even need to use the bells. That's a shame, because it's kind of fun. Now we're gonna flip the lever to turn off the fire, and some Ganados will spawn in.
Mátalo.
And now that the room is clear, we can have Ashley come and follow us. And so this next portion is going to be a big old challenge, because veterans of this game know this infamous room that's coming up is the water room, and the game will just throw enemies after enemy after enemy after enemy at you. Hopefully, hopefully we don't get any game overs. Start off by taking down these crossbow dudes, and just keep moving. Like I said, you just gotta keep moving. And we've got a couple more Ganados spawning in behind us. And we have a game over. Well, at least it wasn't Leon this time. Maybe if I just rush to this room, it might be... Maybe that's the right call here. Because we have to get to the room in the back to step on some pressure pads to bring up a crank to open up the next portion of this room to us. You just gotta be careful because enemies can spawn in behind us too, from the hole in the ceiling. But even still, they'll be easy to... First, we'll know because you'll hear them jump down, but they're not gonna be that difficult to deal with. So this is a good funnel point. Alright.
Follow me.
I'm sorry for the lack of commentary right now. I'm just very focused. A flash grenade would be very helpful right now. But a regular grenade will have to suffice. Nice. That was all of them. Well-placed grenade. I'm gonna have Ashley operate the crank and just cover her. And I'm gonna try and loot as best I can while she's doing that. So I also have to be very careful of these scythes, because they will throw them, and they will decapitate you if your health is low. Just keep moving. And luckily, once they throw their scythes, they don't pick them back up. So you don't have to... That's not a constant danger. Okay. Definitely doing a lot better the second time through. And after a while, as you can see, the enemies will slow down with spawning in. You're able to do some looting and stuff. In this next portion, we'll need to send Ashley up on this here platform up top to turn 2 cranks to give us a chance to cross the water portion to get to the next room. So we are almost there. That first aid spray is going to be super helpful with how much damage I take. So let's ensure that we have fully loaded sniper rifle
Look, there's a crank over
before we send Ashley up. Okay, we should be good to go, so I'm going to send Ashley up.
there. Watch out for me.
So enemies will spawn in to try and pick up Ashley. They'll spawn in from there and the opposite side, but they'll also try and come in and disrupt you as well. You just have to be aware of your surroundings. I should reload the shotgun really quick. So she's got the first portion down. Ah, that's just unlucky. There we go. Ooh, that's a bad angle. And I think she's almost done. Alright. So now let's go ahead and catch her. And we are good to go to move on. So yeah, that's the water room. I'm surprised we didn't get more game overs because it's a big old challenge, especially here on professional difficulty. I usually will get I'm usually guaranteed to get at least one game over from the water room. So now we are in a safe area. As you can see, the merchant is here. So there's just some loot around this room to pick up. I'm gonna do that and then see what the merchant has for sale. Ooh, also, the first shooting gallery is here. So I'm gonna actually take some time this episode to do the shooting gallery. We've got some more upgrades for the riot gun, so I'm going to take the reload speed, and another one for the rifle, so let's take firepower, but not capacity. So yeah, let's check out the shooting gallery. So the way that the shooting gallery works is you get a choice of whether you want the fast fire weapons or the sniping weapons. So with the fast fire weapons, you get a TMP and a shotgun, and with the sniper weapons, you get the default starter pistol and a bolt action rifle. So I find that either weapon type is good enough to get all of the bottle caps of all the little characters and stuff. But I just prefer to use the sniping because you get bonus points for not missing. So let's do this up real quick. So depending on the amount of points that you score will determine how many bottle caps you get, and there's 4 difficulties of the shooting gallery, and you unlock them as you go throughout the game. There's potentially 6 bottle caps that you can get at each difficulty, and whenever you complete a row of 6, you get a bonus drop of pesetas. So let's go ahead. So this is the default. So you get points for shooting these ganados, but double points for shooting them in the head. And if you miss, like I'm doing right there, you lose out on a bonus point opportunity. And up here is the bonus with the Salazar head, which is worth 500. I didn't get them all, but as you can see right there, I scored enough points to get 4 out of the 6 bottle caps for this difficulty. So let's give that another try. And you don't have to leave the room to get more ammo. Whenever you restart a round, it'll top up all of your ammo. Take our time. There goes that nice hit streak we had going. There we go. And we've got all 6 for this difficulty. As the story progresses, you'll unlock more difficulties for the shooting gallery, and as you saw, each difficulty has 2 different rounds, and you can also change your weapons at any time. So we've been awarded the first 6 bottle caps, and we've completed the first row, and a bonus of 15,000 pesetas. So we can actually go ahead and check these out right now. These are, just collectibles. You can't sell them for anything. And each little bottle cap has it's like a little collectible figurine, and you can view them, and you can turn them and spin them around, and each of them plays a little sound bit. So it's cool.
Don't worry, Ashley. I'm coming for you.
So cool little collectibles here. So as the game progresses, we'll go and collect the remainder of the bottle caps. And Ashley's gonna get captured again, so we won't have to worry about babysitting her for a while. So that's the end of Chapter 3-1. And we are going to be introduced to yet another new enemy, the Novistador. And this is the only portion of the game where the Novistadors spawn in invisible. For the rest of the game, I don't understand why they don't turn invisible. But that's okay. Also, this is a pretty cool grainy filter where it looks weird. I found the best way to handle the Novistadors is to just use your shotgun. So the lore with the Novistadors is they're invisible while they're holding their breath, which is kind of funny. And cool at the same time, I don't know. As you can see, they're not too difficult to deal with, but one-on-one, but when they are, you know, in a group, obviously they're more difficult to deal with. I don't see him. I don't know where he is. Oh, they're both down there. Let's top up our health. They are annoying to deal with in groups. Novistadors also drop unique loot, and they have a chance of dropping a blue, red, or green gem that goes into a lantern. So there's a random chance of, you know, them dropping any color of the gems for the lantern. We're running low on shotgun ammo here. That is no bueno. Cutting it kind of close with this shotgun ammo here. Let's go with our TMP. You know, the TMP's not half bad against these things. You can also get a yellow herb in this one here. And in this treasure chest here is the lantern that I was talking about. So we can go ahead and combine gems that go along with it. And we just need a blue eye to put into the lantern to make it as expensive as it's ever gonna be. So we are gonna turn this valve here to drain the water so we can continue on to the next room. And more Novistadors will spawn in. Hmm. Alright, gotta be careful here. Let's just top up our health here. Come on. So unfortunately, no blue eye this time round, but there'll be more opportunities to pick up those treasures. In fact, this one might drop it. So let's see. If not, we'll just hold on to it. Yeah, we'll just hold on to the lantern until we get another opportunity to collect a blue eye for our lantern. So this portion's not too difficult, you just gotta time it right so that way you don't get hit by one of these swinging axe things and get knocked off. Easy. Not all of them were blinded. Crap. Oh well. We got most of them trapped in here, including the important one, the red one. As each of these Ganados is holding a treasure. All of them have spinels except for the red Ganado. He's got an Illuminados pendant thing. And also in this section, up here on the second floor bits, you can swing across the chandelier to get some more treasures and loot. Including another elegant mask that we can get some more pieces for. Go ahead and upgrade our riot gun's capacity for some free ammo. You can also upgrade the firepower and reload speed of our TMP. There's nothing else that I'd like to purchase right now. I'm just gonna go and sell some of the treasures that I have. Alright, there we go, let's move on. So we have to get to that red Ganado to open up the next section. Ugh. If I didn't knife that pot, I wouldn't have taken damage. Too slow to shoot the red guy. Let's hit this red barrel. So that didn't take out all of them, but... There we go. So if you don't kill the red guy before he makes it back down to the bottom of the gallery, he will pull up a giant minigun turret, and you have to take him on there. So he's a lot easier to deal with before that. So now that we've got the gallery key, we can head on out to the next room. And this is a fairly simple puzzle to solve. You just need to get the right number of people being executed. So you need to make sure that there's 6 people being executed. But it's really easy. You just go 4, 3, 2, 1, and it should be good to go. And we can just verify. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So then we can hit OK. And moving on to the next section. He just straight up missed his shot. That's funny. He got just close enough to where his attack animation would happen, but he was too far away to actually be able to hit me. That is hilarious. This room is just throwing enemies at me, much like the water room. And these crossbow dudes are annoying. And they'll run away from you too when you try and aim at them. That was unintentional, but still pretty cool. And luckily for me, they take forever to stand back up, so can easily catch up to them. Start by deactivating the security to bring up this center portion, so we can then get to the treasure chest in the middle. And now what we're going to do is we are going to destroy this vase here to reveal the button, extend the bridge to get to the treasure chest. But 2 Ganados with rocket launchers will spawn, they fire, and they are just about as dangerous as a Ganado with nothing in their hands. Because they've got nothing in their hands. And we are all clear. So that's the first of 3 ornaments to move on to the next bigger section of the castle. So in here is where you can get the broken butterfly, but you need Ashley to be able to go in there to unlock the door from the other side. So we'll loop back around this way once we get Ashley back. So now for this section, we'll need to get 2 halves of a moonstone to be able to open up this green door here. And both halves are in this here garden maze. And the enemies that are in the maze are some more dogs. So they are just as easy to handle as they were back in the village. And just like back in the village, they are super susceptible to fire. Just like that. So we'll go up across this bridge over to the fountain there to get the first half of the moonstone. And let's head on back because we need to get to that fountain now. Pretty easy maze to navigate. There's multiple routes that you can take. And it's very difficult to get yourself lost. And the first gem for our second elegant mask. And yes, as you've noticed, the dogs can spawn in Plagas now too. And they just get little tentacles. And here we go, the second half of the moonstone. Let's just hold up here. Oh, I think, yeah, that's this dog over here. You know what? Since we've got a ton of them. we can head off to the next portion of the chapter. And the dogs actually won't follow you out of the maze here, so you can just... Actually, no, I'm a big old liar. Don't kill me, Mr. Dog, for being a liar. I thought they couldn't follow you, but it turns out they can. And we go in here, confronted by Ada, yada yada yada. Alright, chapter 3-3. And we can just do some more treasure hunting and treasure collecting before we talk to our pal, the merchant. I think there might be a couple more upgrades available to us now that I'd like to get, so let's see what he has now. So on the list, we got some more upgrades for firepower for the Blacktail, and let's also finally take the capacity upgrade for the Blacktail, and we won't take 21 just yet. The riot gun's got more, and the rifle, that's still the same upgrades as before. And also, if you were using the mine thrower, there'd be upgrades. And after some light reorganizing of our inventory, we are ready to move on. We're also going to be faced with another Garrador shortly. But first, let's go back this way. We can do some looting this way. And this is the back way to go and get the broken butterfly, but like I said before, we have to wait until we get Ashley back before we do that. So let's go ahead and open up this gate over here. And you just gotta shoot the bottle of wine. And so we get trapped. Taking damage is one of those things that you just have to be okay with in this part. Gotta be careful to not... I'm kind of surprised the Garrador is not going after me like he normally would, but... Ah, he missed. This is just a bad angle. Okay, let's... There we go. There we go. Easy. Alright, let's take the treasure here. It's an hourglass with gold decor. There's also a flash grenade in here. Also, pro tip, don't use a flash grenade around a Garrador, because then they'll be able to see you a lot better. I learned that the hard way once. They'll know exactly where you are. Also, there's another type of Plagas that they could have as well, the more spider-like Plagas. And once you take down the Ganado, the Plagas will detach from the body and become a small enemy. So, but still really easy to deal with. Ooh, right down on him. Nice. And we flip the switch to extend the bridge. Comes up from the floor. And then we are able to cross. I'm gonna go ahead and visit the merchant a little bit early because none of my guns have ammo in them, so I'm just gonna get the capacity upgrades that are available. Also, we can get the largest case in the game, so let's go ahead and buy that. So we are at maximum capacity for our case. Capacity. Blacktail is upgraded to as far as it can go right now. Riot gun, same deal. The rifle can get one more capacity upgrade, but we're gonna hold off on that. And TMP is as good as it gets right now. So let's go ahead and reload our TMP. And we can also get a free rocket launcher. Let's just deal with these Ganados up here before we finish our looting. And the rocket launcher is in here. Boom. We got it. It fits. Cool. Alright, so that's what we're looking like. And that is chapter 3-3. Also, Rip Lewis. So for this one, we just have to be very careful with how we place our shots. But as long as you shoot to the side, you're fine. And let's just not mess around and use our rifle here. And they won't fire in on you, so you just have to, you know, just focus and time your shots properly. You just also have to be careful because, you know, you can hit Ashley. So she'll try for the door, she'll realize it's locked, and more Ganados will spawn in. And this red Ganado guy has the key on his chest. Collateral damage. That was a risky shot.
I got the key.
Awesome.
Get out.
So yeah, she'll go pick up the key once all the enemies are dealt with. I probably shouldn't have reloaded there, but because then I could have gotten some more free ammo with the upgrade. Oh well. So now in this section we're gonna play as Ashley. This is the only section in the game that we play as Ashley, and you are completely defenseless, except for, you know, using these here lanterns against the Ganados. And if you miss one, you won't be able to kill all of them. Because Ashley does not use a gun, she does not get a knife. It's just a matter of trying to avoid the Ganados. And you don't have to turn this crank to open up that gate. I'm just doing it because I like it. And down he goes. Okay. Now we're gonna go into the next room over here. I know I just opened the gate, but I'm gonna crawl under. It'll take us directly to another lantern that we can just throw and surprise him with. I'm also gonna make an effort to get better at tapping the X button with my left hand. Ah. You jerk. Alright. You jerk. Well, I can't take any more damage, so I'm gonna have to lure him over on this side and then shut the gate on him. So haha. I opened this gate with a purpose. Yeah, yourself. Later, loser. And you don't have to turn the crank all the way. A gap that big would be good enough for Ashley to go through, but I'm just gonna open it all the way. And any items that Ashley picks up will just get transferred over to Leon's inventory once we finish this section. So we just have to push the right buttons to open up the way. And also take the stone tablet, because that's important for a puzzle later. So sneak past these here suits of armor. And so again, another super easy brainless puzzle. You move this section into the middle, and then it's just a matter of shifting these around just like that. And then you drop in the stone tablet, and it opens up the door for you. And we have a little bit of time to pick up any of these items around here. The moment we take these key items, the suits of armor will awaken and start chasing after us. So the insignia will help us leave this area completely. And in here is the second piece of the ornament that we need to escape this section of the castle. Easy to avoid them, just let them all come through the door, go around the table. And we also will have a couple of quick time events. So, gotta get my fingers ready. Just lucky that it was it's mouse buttons. And if you want, you can go ahead and press this button, and that'll shut the gate, and the other suits of armor won't be able to catch you. Ooh. That was very close. I know you didn't see it, but I pressed the mouse buttons, and then I realized it was X and C, and at the very last frame, I think it was, I pressed X and C. That was really, really close. Ashley turns the thing, opens up the secret exit, and we climb the ladder and leave the room to escape. But not before we take the money. Alright, and that is chapter 3. We're gonna call that a part there. Next time we're gonna work through escaping the castle and eventually moving on to the military island base. With that, if you enjoyed, please feel free to drop a like. It helps out the channel. If you disliked it, absolutely feel free to dislike. I won't be upset. If you want to see more from me, feel free to hit the subscribe button, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.